If you're a regular viewer of my videos, you know Cartoon Network has a bunch of different problems. It makes sense, they're a big company and they have to appeal to a bunch of different people to succeed as a network. I've talked about so many different problems in the past, and there are several solutions. One of those solutions I'll be talking about today, it's my personal opinion, of course. This won't 100% make the network better, but I think a lot of people would really appreciate it, and it would lead the network into a better direction. So you probably know that a lot of people grew up with the older Cartoon Network. So many different classic cartoons were on there, like Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I could go on and on talking about those really old shows, but people still love those, and they would do anything to get them back. I bet some of the fans of the classic cartoons grew up and they have kids now. Now, one big problem with modern Cartoon Network is that they have a huge focus on their modern shows. And I know that's kind of self-explanatory because you always want to have new shows. You want to bring new audiences to the network with different cartoons. However, there are still so many people who would love to see the older cartoons on Cartoon Network. And because of this, I think one really good way that Cartoon Network can succeed is by having a short block filled with classic cartoons. Now, some of you are probably thinking that's pretty stupid because they should just focus on Gumball, Adventure Time, and any other modern cartoon. While I do think that's true, I still feel like if they spent a small portion of each day on the schedule to the classic cartoons, then a lot more people would tune into the network, especially those who grew up with the cartoons.
Maybe this is a button that does nothing.
It doesn't even have to be a large portion of the day. Like, if this idea actually became a reality, I think the most successful time slot would be sometime in the morning. This is when only the really dedicated fans would tune in. And if you're someone who grew up with a show like Codename Kids Next Door, and you see that it's going to be airing on Cartoon Network at like 7 a.m., and if you were a super fan of that show, then you're probably going to wake up early to watch it on live TV, because that hasn't been on live TV in so long, and it'd just be amazing. It wouldn't just be Kids Next Door, though. There could be older shows like Ed, Edd and Eddy. That has a huge audience of people that are now adults, and putting this in the morning will not really disrupt the normal Cartoon Network schedule. Like, yeah, focusing on the modern cartoons like Gumball is 100% necessary, but at the same time, if you have the older cartoons airing in the morning, kids aren't going to start complaining saying, "No, Cartoon Network, I want my new cartoons, those are the best ones ever," because those kids are probably still going to be sleeping, and they're definitely not going to watch the older shows if they grew up with the more modern ones. So having this small Cartoon Network block airing old Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, and other classic Cartoon Network shows, I think it would just be a very good addition to the network, and it'd be just a small step in making the channel better, bringing so many more people to watch. Another reason I think this would be a good idea, let's say there's a parent who grew up with Dexter's Laboratory. They now have kids, so whenever Dexter's Lab appears on Cartoon Network's live TV, then the parents can explain to the kids how amazing the show was, and the kids will have very easy access to watching Dexter's Lab because it's airing right on TV. This will also add the opportunity for Cartoon Network to bring back merchandise for those older shows. Like, yeah, obviously the merchandise still exists, but I mean, who buys those nowadays other than collectors and hardcore fans? If modern Cartoon Network airs those classic cartoons in a short block each day, then kids will be very familiar with these characters and shows that they didn't really know of before, and they would be more likely to go out and buy the merchandise, ultimately making Cartoon Network more money. And merchandise is an extremely big part about business, especially with TV networks. Advertising is big, but I feel like merchandise has huge potential with making money for the business, especially for Cartoon Network. This wouldn't work with every single TV channel because not every channel is as memorable as the older shows on Cartoon Network, but I feel like the audiences that came from the classic Cartoon Network shows is just too big to ignore right now, and giving them a little spotlight nowadays will just increase the entire Cartoon Network audience, making them more money and eventually leading to more success. That's just my personal idea though. It might not 100% work. There are definitely more solutions to making Cartoon Network a better channel, but that's just one of them I thought was worth mentioning. Anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and come upload and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.